Welcome to the Image Critique Show with Jeff Johnson, Rick Avalos, and their special guest. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome. This is are we in June already? Holy cow. This is our June program. 2.5 years, 2 seasons and a half a season we've been doing this, Rick. Can you believe that already? How are you?
Yeah, where does the time go? And it's been such a wonderful opportunity to share these evenings with our members and to rekindle friendships from guests that are, not only our friends, because we don't want to give this idea that we're only inviting people that we know that are close
Right.
friends of ours, but so well established in their careers and in their judging careers. You know, Tonight is certainly a great example of that, and we'll get to Jessica in just a bit. But you had probably a couple of announcements, Jeff.
Well, I was going to say, first of all, if you think about it, and I know we've said this to a few folks, but between the two of us, I mean, we both, you guys don't know, we both grew up in the business, but between the two of us as professionals, we're at, what do we say, 98 years of
Oh,
experience?
yeah, this month is 51.
98 years. That doesn't even, I can't wrap my head around that one. Yeah, that's crazy. So, not that we know everything, we just pretend like it, but that's where what
We're still faking it
we're
till
still
we.
faking it exactly.
I think
Anyway,
he'll know a lot.
well,
But
and it helped because, and I know for my dad, and Jack was the same way, that they both were well-seasoned veterans, and if they didn't have an answer to a question, they knew somebody who did. So, growing up in those two different studios, it was as if we were growing up under the PPA roof, and everybody who had anything ever to do with PPA, we had that resource to learn. And I can't tell you how many folks that I've learned from over the years, from all the whatever was the convention of classes or the week-long schools and so on and so forth. So it's high time we give back. That's why we're doing this, right, Ricky? That's the whole point of
absolutely,
trying to make this
absolutely.
available.
And what's I find interesting is, during these shows that we host every month, and Jeff is always on the judging circuit. As a matter of fact, I judged Ohio today. But the point being that no matter what we feel we impart, I feel I learn much more than I ever impart because we have
Absolutely.
this opportunity to come together and share each other's experiences and to have an opportunity to view such wonderful images that are really inspiring.
Absolutely. That's what's so fun about it. I get so many great ideas from looking at all the folks' images that come through. I don't copy them, just I don't take yours and submit them. Don't worry about that. I'm doing my own thing. Well, we of course have our good buddy Cliff with us as our engineer. Cliff, thank you so much again for being part of the day, part
Always a,
part of
always
the
a
two and a
pleasure.
half years. Rick, if you want to go ahead and welcome our dear friend and guest this evening, please do.
I certainly will. Excuse me. Jessica Vogel, aka the Dairy Princess.
I was wondering if you were going to go there.
If time allows, maybe we'll share. Maybe she'll share some thoughts about that or the story. But Jessica is, gosh, has such a track record in our industry in all areas. In her career, her business, her photography business, her participation in PP of A in many committees, and as well as on her state level. Jessica has been and is a PPA affiliated juror, and this is what Jeff and I really try to do is to make sure that we get qualified guests here that have the background and the experience to share what they can and what they know about to better our techniques and our styles and our submissions. Because everything that we do in these programs, folks, is designed to help our membership. And so we're proud that we're getting the best in terms of guests here to help us out. And your participation is what really helps us along the way, because we know that without your participation and your desire to get involved, everything would be for naught. So, Jessica Vogel, we are so happy to have you here tonight. We've
Yes.
got a wonderful array of images that we're going to be visiting about, and we look forward to your input tonight. And
All
you're
right.
more than welcome to offer at this point some of your thoughts about tonight and being here. And
Well, I'm just so honored that you'll ask me to be part of this. I was looking forward to it, especially to get to see Rick and Jeff, who I've known for a while. I've known Rick a long time, and I see some other faces on here that I know. So just excited to be here. I love looking at other people's work, and just like Jeff said, it inspires you. You walk away and you're like, now I need to go do something inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, I think, the fun. People send the images to me, so I get them ready to put on the show, and I get to sit and look at them and just kind of oogle over them and
yeah,
and think,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
I can go there next time and shoot that. And anyway, so we're
yeah.
very excited to have you be part of our family and give us your years of wisdom and knowledge.
I'll do my best.
Oh, but don't you find that after doing this for a long time, you get really good at, if you don't know the answer, you make something up real quick. So, oh, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. I'm sorry. That was between us. Well, again, thank you for being part of the show tonight, Jessica. We really appreciate that. We're going to get to images here in a minute. I have one little announcement. Cheryl kind of touched on it early on, but we got more folks in the room here. But I just want to share this with you. We have a let's see if I may do this. I'm going to see if I can share the screen here. So we have a great workshop that Rick and I have been planning, and it's coming up here. And you may have seen the emails already, but just want to let you know if you haven't, and tell your other photography friends about it. It's kind of the painter's dream. It's called The Brilliance with a Brush. And we've got four phenomenal, long-time, very talented, very successful, highly awarded um, photographers that are going to give us a presentation each on June 15th. It'll be a Zoom broadcast. Each presenter is going to show us what they know for a couple hours each. They will be live. The cost of the workshop is only $99. For the special price, that's only on for another week. Otherwise, it goes to $129, I think. Yeah. Anyways, but you'll also have access to recordings. So if you can't make it on that day, or you can't watch all four of them, by all means, you'll get access to that. So we've got Sandra Pierce coming in, Kim Smith, Shannon Squires, and our dear friend Cheryl Moore, who's sitting on the panel with us tonight. There, Cheryl's out of her camera's off. That's okay, but she's going to be one of our fearsome foursome to do their own style. So we've got really four. It's all about painting and that kind of artistry and photography, but they all have different enough styles that it just makes it such a unique. And I can't wait to sit and watch myself. So if you go to the Image Critique Show.com and then go under the 2025 link, you see at the bottom of that list is Brilliance with a Brush. And it'll take you to the page. It'll tell you about it. The registration is on there. You can see the ladies, some of their photographs they've done. There's a couple of videos up there of the girls to see what they're talking about. Really, we're both excited to present this to all of you. So by all means, check it out or tell your other photographer friends about it. And it doesn't matter if they're veterans or newbies. It's a great way to learn. So check that one out. And I've been sending emails. You've probably all gotten them. I'm sorry if it's too many, but oh well, so what? Uh, what else do we need to tell them before we get started?
Um, it's you've got time to sign up for the workshop. It's something that I think is going to be very, very valuable to anyone, and I feel on all levels of expertise. So consider it. And we've got the videos that of the gals, the shorts that they sent out and sent to us anyway. And I'm seeing that Cheryl shared a file in the meeting, so consider that. Check that out. Excuse me.
There you go. Very cool. All right. Anything else we think of, we'll tell you as we go along. So let's go ahead, and if we're ready to go, let's get rolling here because we've got about 20 some images to look at. And Actually, we have just right at 22. So it'll be a good, strong evening. And I'm going to steal the screen here. And let's see, we'll take this screen here. All right. And Zoom in their all their infinite wisdom, they have gone and made everything, moved it around and changed it so
I
long.
know.
Everywhere I saw where I knew buttons were is not there anymore. So sorry if I hesitate. So we're going to start with this image here, and I just went and clicked on the wrong folder by mistake there. We're going to start with this image is called Annoyed. We'll
By,
just jump right off. Jessica, go ahead. Tell us what you think.
yeah, by the way, Jessica, at the
Yeah.
bottom left of your screen is a green a pencil. If you click on that, you can
Oh,
pick a tool if you want to use it to uh, point out some areas on the images.
okay. All right.
Yeah, just draw away like crazy. That's the everybody the viewers like that kind of stuff. So circle X, cross out, whatever you want to do. And if we talk about if you want to do some cropping, just tell me what you want. And I've got it in Photoshop, so I'll crop it.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So wow, I love the impact with the leopard's face when it pops up, that beautiful light coming in on the leopard, I think has got a lot of impact on that. Just looking, I immediately go to I don't know if I can this area here. Can y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit, it gets really muddy over in here. I don't know if I might suggest that they bring that up just a little bit there. Uh, Immediately, I want to stay here, but I keep going over to this. There's the animal itself is really sharp. The eyes, the nose, all of that looks good. There is a fall off like right here, but that's okay. But right there again, there's a little bit fuzzy for me right there and right in here as well. So those are some things that are standing out to me because I really love this part of the cat. Uh, I also I'm just looking here so I can get a good idea. Uh, you know, I like y'all's opinion on this, but I don't know about the color for the mat itself as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that sort of a plummy kind of got a I don't know on my monitor it's looking kind of purpley
There is a
and
little bit, looks like it, yeah.
yeah, so I don't know if that would be the color I would go with there. Um, I don't think I would change the crop on this. Um,
You know,
I like
I was gonna say I kind of like the square.
I like the square. I like the cat being in because actually the cat's eyes are this is over here is in a third, so it pulls me into that. It keeps me right there at it. I guess for me my concerns were is just this area over here. Uh,
Right.
and I'm looking at that background. I feel like you all tell me if you're seeing it, but I feel like I'm seeing a lot of like right in here spots in this background. Like, do y'all see that? Are y'all seeing that? Then this is real dark here, but then you kind of see these lighter areas, then darker areas in there as well.
I do
I think
see a
I,
little bit. It's not doesn't seem to be so pronounced from what you're
yeah,
describing.
yeah. I just noticed that. It just pulling me away, and I really want when an image comes up and it has a lot of impact like I think this one does with the cat's face. I want it to hold me there, but my eye does float out, and I see those other things that I would just a little cleanup, maybe some post-production work on that would help.
Yeah.
What do you all think?
Yeah.
No, I agree with that too. And the one thing that I kind of see, I think the simple, what I would do is this is rather high contrast. And I think just the things you were saying, Jessica, about this dark area over here, um, where you were talking about, I think if just the contrast was lowered a little bit, I think everything would hold up and we'd just bring out the edge of the body, the edge of the ear, that would
Mhm.
just keep it from disappearing into the background. Other than that, I think I love the shallow depth of field. We've got sharpness from the eyes to the nose.
Yeah.
I don't mind that it's soft from the ear back here. Yeah, there's a little bit of some stuff here that I probably would look at getting rid of because it's not helping the story. Let me ask you guys this one, Jessica, more so. We're seeing this a lot more in competition. People are doing a stroke at the edge, and then they're doing this floating stroke that's quite a ways out. Is this do you see it as being a deterrent, or are you okay with that?
Now, see, I actually like that.
I kind of
I
do too,
tend to
but
do that a lot myself.
okay.
But there are some I've heard some say, well, they don't like it. They find it distracting. Uh, Now, the one thing I will say about this particular one is they did two different color strokes. They did a darker stroke here and this lighter stroke out there. I personally like the strokes to be the same. If you're going to do a double stroke, I think making them the same color is better than doing the two different ones because but making this one dark and this one light, this becomes an area that's going to pull your eye to it because your eye's going to go to the brightest things. Your brightest thing here is your cat, but it does pull you out to that. So they might want to consider making their strokes the same color.
Hmm.
And the contrast thing you're right about, Jeff. I think that by lowering that contrast, you'll kind of get rid of that edgy, that it's doing to the cat's ears and a little bit around its head, and it probably would take care of that area there as well.
Yeah, not much, just a little bit, but it would just
Just
bring
a little bit, yeah.
mostly to bring the edge of the animal out from the
Hmm.
background. I think that's really all that needs to be done. So,
Yeah.
oh, look at that. We just stopped right on time. Rick, was there anything else you wanted to add? We didn't mean to cut you out there, but
No, no, that's fine. That's
okay.
fine. You covered it. You have my blessings on
Your blessings.
it.
I'm gonna wipe my monitor off a little bit. I think I see a spot.
All right. So then we have an image called backlight.
Oh, wow. Take a look here.
Yeah, what do you think?
Oh, wow. This is beautiful. Wow, I love this. I love the crop on this, and I like the
Yeah.
way that the maker has cropped this to bring this area, the area through here where the light's hitting it and putting it into that flow. So what they've done here when they crop this is your eye reads right to from left to right, and it does. It just leads me all the way through. Um, pull the image. I can't see. Oh, hold on a second. Let me move you guys off. That helps. Okay, y'all were
Oh,
covering it
yeah,
up.
that's true. Yeah, get us the heck out of the way.
Yeah. This is really beautifully shot. I mean, the capture is so nice. I mean, I can see all this wonderful detail in the rock. The exposure is great. I think there's good texture in the shadows and the highlights themselves. They've really held all that there. Um, yeah, I loved it. Like I said, I just think the crop is so powerful. I don't think I would change anything on that at all. I think the presentation is nice. Um, just looking over this.
Well, it's got a lot of great depth, doesn't it? There's just
Got
like
so much depth. Yeah, it's got
soft light
so
in the
much
front
depth.
to here in the back. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
You
gave
know,
us some, they gave it some foreground, middle ground, and background in this. And I love that we have the little bush there too, and that they didn't get rid of that. I think that adds it gives me a point to go to, and then I just
Okay,
keep going
there.
through the image.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Jessica pointed out about the exposure, and gosh, I can't agree more because look at this dark area here, but there's still a lot of detail in there that
Detail.
it
Yeah.
balances off really well with the rim lighting. Uh,
And they've handled the color in this really well. I mean, it's not oversaturated. It's very realistic. They've really handled it really well. Yeah, this is a beautiful image. Very, very strong.
Well, the placement of having we got the line we talked about earlier, but even just these two diagonals, and we've got all this warm color, and then we have cool tones back here. It lets you go back there, but you don't stay long and come right back
Don't
out.
say- Right,
I think
exactly.
that's very,
Yeah, I mean,
very well done.
very well done. They positioned themselves very nicely when they photographed this, and like I said, they used the crop to create even more impact
Yeah,
in this image.
absolutely. Well done, maker.
Yeah, that's a beautiful image. I mean, look at all the texture and the
Yeah.
rocks in the front there. It's
Well, those are
awesome.
hard to shoot that kind of stuff because sometimes that ends up taking over. But they've handled the saturation and the density of the rocks so well that there's texture, but it's not plenty to look at here. This doesn't take over, but it's just supporting. So,
you
And
know
a
what I
kiss of light,
appreciate?
a beautiful kiss of light all the way through that.
yep.
Yeah. You know what I appreciate about the presentation is that sometimes we'll get these mats that are really wide and they tend to pull us out of the image. And the width of this mat just goes along with the pano
Yeah.
presentation of the image.
Yeah, I tell people when I do critiques and they're looking at their presentation, you got to look at a presentation. It's just like it's like the foundation. It's holding the image. You don't want it to be something that takes away from the image. And the maker's done just that with this image. They've
Right.
laid a little foundation and then they've let the image speak for itself.
Well, I think when you hit the right composition and color balance and all that, the story shines so much better. You're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
stuck in the objects. You're not stuck in the the elements. You're actually able to flow and look at how they compare and talk to each other. Yeah, this is extremely well done.
Yeah. Really, really well done.
Oh, let's see. Oh, I have to get rid of my pen before I can
Mm-mm.
close the thing. There we go. And we've kind of shied away from giving scores. I know sometimes people will ask, and not that we
Oh,
mind doing it, but we don't want to lock you into thinking that it should be that score
oh, I would.
because we're so darn nice. 110. All right. This one is called Glorious Sunrise.
All right.
Jessica, go ahead.
Wow, what a great sky for that sunrise.
The
Wow.
color palette, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful color palette there. And then we definitely have a cool side and a warm side on this. I think they've handled that really well. And actually it's kind of cool how you got the cool rocks, then the warm sky, and then the warm rocks over here on the bottom right. Works
Oh,
really
good
well.
point. Good point. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean it bounces off, and then you got a little bit of a coolness here. So they've kind of created all that has created a triangle composition in a sense there, which creates impact in an image. Uh, I'm just gonna look over it real quick here. Oh, and there's even a little bird up there on the rocks.
Yeah, yeah. Just little guy sitting right there. That's cool.
Yeah. Now it may be just my eyes, but so this over here looks really, really sharp. This over here seems a little softer to me. Does it look soft to you guys over
I'm
there?
not, for some reason, I'm not seeing your pen at this moment. So you
Oh,
talk.
I'm sorry. Right. This over here looks softer. Are you seeing it now?
Oh, yeah. Let me see. Yeah, because the left side is very sharp. Well,
Very, very sharp. And this seems to have a softness. And it could be just the way the light's hitting that, but it does seem to be not as sharp.
yeah, I do see that. I don't know if it bothers me, but that could be something that could easily be tweaked, you know.
Yeah, I think
Or-
I would tweak that. And I'd almost bring that down just a little bit. Just because we have such a much darker side, I'd almost bring that down a little bit. Um,
Color-wise or brightness.
both
How about
for
the
me.
clouds, the clouds in the upper
Yeah,
left?
I think that needs to, yeah,
Just a
Are,
tad
are
light.
just
you
a little
feel,
bit there.
are you sensing that the clouds up there are just a little oversaturated?
Yeah,
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 here.
definitely that yellow area. Yes. Yeah. That right.
I wouldn't change the saturation on this rock formation.
No, this is good.
Even this one is okay. Back
Yeah.
here is fantastic, but this just seems like it's really pushing that saturation level. And then the yellow orange up in here,
Yeah,
it's so
right
close because the
there.
rest of this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Back here, yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Look at the matte color. Is that kind of got a, I'll say plum or a.
Yeah, and I don't think that works. I think it takes away from the image. I don't know that I think they've definitely pulled it out of this cool rock here. I mean, that color is
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Uh,
This is
I
hard
just
though. When you get these many colors, and
this is hard. That's what I was going to say.
yeah, you better go
Using the
black or
mat
white or
here
gray. Yeah,
is
exactly.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this might be something that might. I mean, I know they're playing with all the color here, and I do love the way the color is playing off of each other on it. But it could be more impactful as a black and white.
Really?
Jessica beat you to the draw.
Oh, I've been talking to myself all week here trying to. Oh,
Whoops, whoops, we lost it.
my sharing went away. All right, hang on a sec. How weird was that? Okay, so Yeah,
Can you enlarge that just a little bit more?
sure. How's that?
Yeah, because I was just looking at the horizon, and I don't know, it's just atmospheric but
The
uh,
little bit of a gray area there at the
yeah,
horizon line. Yeah, it's kind of a dirty line through there
yes,
sometimes. Yeah.
You mean just
yes,
right at the edge right here, Rick?
yeah.
This actually this can I don't know if my silly thing doesn't want to. Can you see my pencil when I
Yeah,
mark?
you just, yeah. Are you red? You're red, aren't you?
I'm
No,
red.
I'm white. This is me. Can you see me?
No.
Nope.
There. It just showed up. Okay.
Okay. That whole area right there has a
Right.
dinginess to it.
I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah, probably because I'm betting the whole sky area was probably toned down to bring out these colors. That's why this has gotten a little bit too heavily saturated.
Yeah, and when you do that, sometimes those lighter areas will get dingy
Yeah,
on you. That's
exactly.
what's happened there.
And I would say even if you look at it, the blue in the upper right is starting to push the too
I
blue to be real kind of a
I
thing too.
I think it's a beautiful sky. I think just feel it's a tad oversaturated.
Yeah, I think it is too. Just pull back on that a little bit.
And other little things that we talk about, and this is, I know it seems kind of nitpicking, but this is the thing that my dad was really strong about was every little thing is a point. And I'm seeing, I don't know if it's just uh, I'll finish my sentence. A little bit of leaves right here, but because they're brighter than the rest of the trees there, it just pulls my eye, and it's like, what? Why?
Hmm.
So I got to
Yeah.
get rid of that, and really that's about it. But
Hmm.
I think there's definitely a great image here that could score well in some competition. So okay, next one we have is called, and Rick, I'm not saying this to you, so don't panic. Go away.
Oh,
I think I would if I was confronted this little guy.
Yeah, man.
Probably not very large of an animal, but those teeth would probably make quite a dent in your wrist or your backside.
well, again, this maker's done a great job capturing this because the fur. I mean, you can really feel the texture on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very sharp from his nose, his eyes, all the way back in there. Uh, and I know it. I like what they've done here by capturing and putting him over here. I feel like he's tight, but he is tight because he's got this little hole that I guess
Right.
he's in a piece of wood and he's tucked away in there. So I like where they've cropped this because they placed him where you're coming in and he's not really center. His eye there is kind of in a third, so it pulls me over there to him. Let's see. I'd back up on the contrast just a little bit on this because now this is starting to look really. When we pump that contrast up, to me, things start looking crunchy, and I think that wood looks a little crunchy to me, and in his fur looks a little crunchy, and I think they've just backed that contrast off just a little bit to just soften it down a little bit. I think would help. Um, let's see.
Yeah, I just opened my contrast layer, but it disappeared on me. That's the one thing well, it's one thing that I've found when we've been working with Photoshop and Zoom is that Photoshop doesn't cooperate like it's supposed to, and I keep losing things here. So keep
And
trying.
I, and
I'm gonna
there's a
find
lot of great color harmony going on here. I mean, the colors in him, he's got all those browns and golds, and it kind of works because he's in camouflage along with that piece of wood that he's hiding in. I love the way all of that color harmony going on there with him and the wood that he's in. Presentation works for me too. I think I would have went with that too. It just like I said again, they create a foundation and the image is setting on that.
We talk about this quite often as far as the presentation. I agree with you. Um, in particular, let's talk about the key line. In this case, I think the color is fine, but a concern that we have, and we bring this up very often, is that the key line, this is what we consider attached key line. The other is the detached, which there's a separation between the key line and the image. My point being, with this particular color, as we look around the image and the key line, there are some areas where it blends into the photograph and we don't
Yeah.
see the entire key line. So couple possibilities. Either detach, because I like that color of the key line, just detach it and just allow a little space around the image, or keep it or keep it as an attached key line and just change the color value so that we can see it all the way around.
So I've just added a brightness and contrast, like just to play real quick and just pulling it back. You have to watch out because I don't know if you can notice as I get lighter on the dark tones
Mhm.
back here, it's kind of doing some funky stuff with the
Funky
highlight.
stuff to his face. Yeah,
Yeah, so you got
yeah,
to be careful with that. But just to show you, because what I see is I see this, and I know it's a harsh light and a shadow, but this black shadow around him kind of is catching my eye quite a bit. Not that there's much
yeah,
you can do with that, but if you can just kind of soften a little bit, you may have to do a mask and paint it into
yeah,
the area and leave so he doesn't get it. Because like I said, as you see, the animal himself looks so much more realistic here before I add the drastic contrast change. I like the
yeah.
shallow depth of field. We got the face and through the nose, the ears are sharp, and then it's just soft up in front,
Mhm.
soft behind. So it's a nice little focus vignette. Not too
Yeah,
much that is big blur, but it's just done. But what a powerful story, and I like that it's kind of full in the frame, like you said, coming from the left here, Jessica. But it with that expression, he's kind of guarding his fort there, and he's letting you know about it. So I think keeping the cropping tight like this just adds that tension and impact to the whole story. So I think that was a good choice. I
yeah,
was looking at maybe even cropping it down. I might go in and like this little area here, maybe darken this just a little bit more because we see all the
yeah.
brightness
Pulled over
here.
to that. Mhm.
Yeah, but your eye goes over here, and I maybe would take like this area down. When I say take it down, that's just my terminology. Make it a little darker, um, too, not much. Okay. It sounds like the Academy Awards that you got going there, Cliff. And the Grammy goes to. We now have one called Life and Death. Yay, black and white. All right, Jessica, what do you think?
All right, let's take a look here. I like the title, and immediately when you read the title, I was like, I couldn't wait to see what I was going to see, and I
Right.
love this because you got life and death meaning that tree and everything. You know, I find this really interesting. The play on the everything is so dark, and then you've got the really brightness on the tree itself. I like that. It pulls me in. Um, I I kind of wish the background or the pond in that area there, I bring that up just a tad, just a tad. It's almost too dark for me.
In the trees or the water too?
The water too. Like, yeah, all this right in here is in this. And I love this. I love these white lines running through. Uh, this almost feels infrared to me, the way that the bark looks on that tree.
Yeah, it kind
But
of feels.
it kind of feels that way. But I would work on my highlights on this tree because we're almost losing some detail in the tree, especially right down in here. That brightness there, and I looking at it, I feel like there's detail there. I believe when they shot the details there, they've just really brought up that brightness in there. We're kind of blowing it out a little bit, and I want to see that. I think I would bring that back in, bring this up just a little, not much. I just think it needs to come up just a tad. I love the play on the really light and the really dark. I love that. I love the white streaks in the water. I think the crop is great. I love the putting this tree over here. I'm wondering, I'm just going to throw this out here. If we flip this image
Yep.
and the tree was over to the right, that we
Yep.
would have a powerful image. And then if you turn this upside down, this is something Dave Huntsman taught me. Always turn your competition print upside down and see where your eye goes and make sure it goes where you want it to go when it's upside down.
Yeah, that's a real
There,
good tool
right?
that I use quite a bit too. it
Yeah,
takes your mind kind of goes, what? Wait, what happened here? So it doesn't, you don't get caught up in the textures and the colors of the story. You see more of the shapes and the patterns. And this has always been good,
exactly. And I go right to that blown out area there.
right at the base of the tree.
Yeah. So that right there, I would bring that up a little bit. Now, see with it upside down, this all looks perfect to me down here at the bottom. So when it's flipped the other way, it looks darker to me than it did upside down.
Interesting. You're right, it does, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
That's crazy. So you were talking about the other way as well. So let's go for
Like flip it.
not that one.
Bit horizontal.
I know the word, but my hand didn't. There.
And the reason somebody's like, why she wanted to flip it? Well, see, to me, that did it. It changed the whole perspective of how you look at this image, didn't it? Because
Oh,
we're reading
absolutely.
left to right. And so now we have somewhere for our eye to flow. Our eyes coming in and it flows through this area here and it sees this and then it takes us over to the subject. Where when it was the other way, we were coming in and we're just like, we hit the tree.
It does kind of stop you, doesn't it, a little bit, even though
It
this is
stops you.
interesting.
And I love this over here. This is beautiful right here. I want to enjoy this. I don't know. That's why I thought flipping it, then it leads me. It's a beautiful leading line into the subject. So that's just something that hit me about it that I would consider flipping that.
Yeah,
We've got that tree as obviously our main point of interest, but compositionally and as far as the elements are concerned, what really, in my opinion, makes this thing sing are these trees over here because
Yeah.
they are allowing the depth into the background. Otherwise, we'd really be harping on how dark the background is and how we need to open it up. And it's because of these two elements that it creates for me visually more depth to the image and balance. As a matter of fact, I
Yeah.
really enjoy the high contrast. It really, to me, has a very fine art look to it.
Does. And you know what? Flipping it like this, all of a sudden that now, which is now the right side, this over here, doesn't seem so dark to me.
Yeah, you're right. And I was going to say, if you were to go in and lighten this up, it would kind of take away from the power these two guys have. So maybe a tiny bit, but not much at all.
Not much at all. If you flip it, it just changed. It's amazing how that just changed the whole feel of that image by flipping it. That's my take on that one. I think the presentation's nice. I love the very subtle thin key line works really well.
Mm.
I love the brightness of the trees. I just think that one spot there, I'd bring back some detail in that bright
Just
area down.
the two trunks on the foreground there.
Yeah.
Good work. Okay. Mama must eat.
Mom must eat.
Oh, goodness.
Oh gosh.
So in other words, she's saying, get out of my way. I gotta eat.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah, go ahead, Jessica.
So the cat, his nose, his mouth are sharp, and then we get a quick fall off. So it's got a very shallow depth of field. I would like to have had a little bit more sharpness going back on the cat itself. Uh, I am distracted by the presentation color. And I know they chose that green because it's standing in the green and everything. I'd almost have done this on a white presentation or tried that and not the green. Because I think the green is creating a cast on the cat. I mean, you've got a color cast a little bit on the cat's ear right there a little bit. There is a little bit of a green color cast on the cat, I think, just because of the environment. I don't know that I would do this. Because to me, this is pulling me away from the cat itself.
You're talking about the mat.
The mat, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
I don't mind the double key line, and I think the stroke is fine. I'm not sure that green mat is what I would go with. I don't think it's helping the image. I don't think it's giving it any impact.
When I look at this color of matte, um, this color or tone to me projects more of a passive, soft,
Mm.
almost like a pastel type of an image, and that really contrasts to this animal that just took down a kill. And does that make any sense at all? The
Yeah,
color.
it does.
Yeah,
Mhm.
when you say it that way, it absolutely make sense.
You wanted because it's got such a the cat with the blood on its mouth. It looks very ominous, but yet we get this real soft feeling to the background and everything that kind of doesn't portray the
Yeah.
what's happened here. This may be an image that might, because you got a lot of green in it, you might want to look at black and white in this because it could be very powerful in a black and white. And then that kind of solves your whole green problem if you're dealing with that.
Mhm.
Well, let's just take a look.
All right. See, I like it better in black and white. I think you could pump that
Play,
up and
play with the take the background and mat down just a little bit.
Mhm.
The one thing that kind of hit me right off the bat is I'm wondering if the face color looks okay, but the rest of the body, and I know we got a
Yeah.
lot of green from the environment, but I feel like the color balance isn't it's not I see too much color in the blacks and the black shadows that maybe the color balance isn't quite right there for the color image. But again, here's
Yeah.
the black and white one, and then I would maybe even take that, just make the whole thing just a tiny bit darker.
A little darker. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's already looking. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm with you because that's what I was saying. I think there's so much, its fur and everything is picking up all that green and it's surrounding and it's casting onto the cat. And you're right. That it just did the cat's color just didn't, it had something going on with it.
Well, I mean, we can obviously see the eyes, but when we go black and white, look at how much all of a sudden the eyes are what you look at, the teeth and the eyes.
Yes. Yes.
Nice little triangle that you go right through and you kind of take another step backwards.
And
That's
you could if you wanted to. You don't really need the bottom half. You don't need the cat's that much of the cat's chest. I'd even consider cropping maybe that out possibly because you do have this real soft area down here, this fuzzy area down here. But I would look at maybe cropping that because plus the title is all about what's right here. So
yeah. Oh, it's definitely saying, look at my face. I'm
yeah,
talking to you. Yeah. Let's just go with a square.
yeah, and then you lose yeah. Yeah, I think I would cut that. I think I'd go black and white there. I think I would crop that more square and lose some of that bottom, bump that up a little bit, contrast, and make it him pop, darken it down some, and whole different image there.
So make it, say that last line again there. All I heard was the Academy Award music there.
I said I
Darken
think that
this.
I said yeah, just bring the cat down some, and then cropping it, and then that takes care of your color problems for sure.
Does.
And I like that crop because I think that just pulls you more into that face. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because your story is definitely strong right here. And again, it's a nice image beforehand. So
Yeah.
but there are a lot of distractions for competition. Even just the spots in the animal, because they're larger than the eyeballs, you tend to get lost down in here. Cool. All right. Good stuff. Next is an image called Mesmerized.
Yes.
So just think of that title and then look in the eyes, and that's exactly
Oh
what you
wow.
feel.
Wow, this is beautiful. Hey, what's this?
You know,
Someone's pen, I think.
my pen. So
Oh,
I
okay.
have
I
to,
was like,
I have
okay, the
to
man might
change.
want to take care of that.
Yeah,
All
no,
right, there you go.
I have to change modes, and sometimes I'll try and move the image like I have the cursor, but I'm still in the paintbrush tool.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, this is a beautiful image. I love the crop I love the color balance they've done here. It's not oversaturated, it's not under it is sharp as a tack. I mean, I can see the fur. I love the presentation. This is really nice. Look at his little spotted nose.
So
Uh
I was leaning in looking at that. What if that's just like freckles or if that's damage from a fight or something? It's kind of interesting, but it's, yeah, tremendous detail. Look at the color of the eyes.
oh, beautiful detail in this. Beautiful detail. And I love the presentation. Uh you might I don't know, I would play with it, maybe make the presentation just a tad bit smaller. What do y'all think? Do you think it's a little bit
Yeah,
too
I
wide? Just
agree.
make it
I
a little
agree.
bit smaller.
I was
Yeah.
just going to ask you about that because I hear that a lot. That
I'd say come in about a third from all the way around.
Yeah.
like maybe in like here.
Yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
would do. Yeah. I wouldn't change the crop or anything there. I think that's really good. It's very powerful. Technically inside that image is really well done. Uh
That's really good use of shallow depth of field too.
yeah, it really is. Really, really good use. Your key line's a little fat for me. I would make that key line just a tad bit thinner. Uh,
Yeah, it's just
but
there for support, not it's the color is great, but maybe even half that size up. That looks what, maybe 10 pixels, 12 pixels.
yeah. Yeah,
Take
I
it
would
down.
make it that half that.
You could make
And then
it 3 or 4 pixels and it would suffice. It would do the
I
job.
was gonna say I would probably go 3 pixels on that, especially if you're gonna take a little bit of the mat off, because if you take the mat off and you leave that size key line, it's gonna look bigger. So you definitely want to thin that down.
Something else that I see, because we have such strong emphasis on the face and all that, and the background is just nice, soft. But little things like this catch my eye. I think I would eliminate.
Those darker spots.
Yeah, and even this little guy down. And you got to stop somewhere because, but if you keep going, oh, you get rid of these, then this is going to be too easy. But those blend in nicely. These just kind of stand out enough. So I
Yeah.
think I would probably eliminate
This
those.
one right here does too. This looks like a little bruise area right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would do that one
Just
too.
kind of soften those. Again, we're talking PPA competition. If you're going to go hang it in the gift shop in the gallery somewhere, nobody's not going to buy it because of that. This is just us picky folk,
That cat is awesome. That's
isn't it?
awesome.
And I think the title is absolutely perfect for this because when it first came up and I read the title, and it is the cat's mesmerized. It's mesmerizing looking at the cat. And you look in their eyes, you just get kind of stuck. So
Yeah.
good stuff. Anything else you want to add, Rick?
Uh, no, no, it's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
I'm just looking in a little closer, but nice job.
Because we have more.
We have more.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, wait, there's more. Monarch of the Forest. Whoa.
Oh, wow. All right, let me take a look here. Really beautiful, beautiful capture of this moose. And man, he is sharp from head to toe.
Isn't he? Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know what? I love, and what a beautiful scene too that they captured this at. If anything, I wish I had a little more. I wish I had more up here. I wish he had a little more headroom. That's it.
One more
I would
space.
love
Yeah.
it. I think he needs a little bit more space up there. Uh, mm, yeah, I would
Uh,
give him more space there. I'm just wondering if he had a little more over here and then take a little off over here to put him more to shift him over
Yeah,
and
that's
when
yeah, good
come
call.
in, put him in a stronger area over there in a third. Because I mean, he's beautiful. I mean, I would probably maybe come in and just up here in the antlers are a little bright.
Right.
Maybe bring that down just a little bit in that. But, I mean, because look at all that great detail up there. Bring that down just a tad.
This is
Uh,
good brightness density right there, trying, get
yeah.
this down, not quite to that, but more
Yeah.
like
It's not going to be because it's lighter in there, but I think it needs to be brought down.
yeah.
Uh, I love the foreground in this. I'd almost feel like maybe y'all disagree with me. Tell me what you think, but I'd almost bring that background down a little bit. It seems a little bright.
Yeah, I agree.
Riching it up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. You could easily do a mask, select the subject or do the background. Just take that, all of the background, the foreground, everything that could come down I like the color tones of this being very cool tones compared to the warmth of the animal himself. But yes, if this was all the background and the foreground were darker, it would be, wait, I get to say it, more better.
More better, more better.
And
Nice
then
image.
it's a,
And, we're capturing. I know that we got some fog going on back here, and that's pretty cool too.
Oh
And if you
yeah.
darken it down, I think that fog might pop a little more too. Because I want to see that because it's obviously this is early morning. He's river and he's just come out. Uh, yeah, I'd love to see more space at the top. How do you all feel about that? Do you all
I
think that
agree. Just yeah, what you said, a little more space here, and even just a hair more on this
that way?
side. I don't mind this distance here, but if there was more on the left side here, that would give us a direction, a little more of a feeling that because he is walking.
and
Yeah.
that's one of the elements I like about this is that the maker caught him in a walking position and rather than just standing.
Yeah.
There's some motion that's involved in it.
Couple things that just caught my eye, and I don't know if it's a problem, but I see this rock and this little bush here, and then this black.
Yeah, right there. I was going to point
Minor
that one out.
things. I kind of think I would at least get rid of the shine in this rock, but I would get rid of this and maybe even this. I mean, again, where do you stop? But they're just asking, maybe even this one, they're just asking for enough attention that, we want to, I mean, look at this great triangle here from the moose, and we get it across the face, and we can go and look at the antlers, the body. And if you get even the background, but if you get pulled down to here and here and here, you're wondering, what am I looking at? It just kind of takes the excitement away from that initial impact.
And this is another one of those images. If you turn it upside down, I guarantee you those little spots are what you're going to see those little spots.
Let's do that then. Come on, mouse, work with me tonight here. I mean, I'm doing fine, but the mouse is not.
Oh yeah, I go right to this one. I go right to that.
Yeah, yeah.
And not so much that line as much as that spot beside it, but yeah, I go to that. But man, look how powerful. You know that he's definitely the subject, and he pulls even upside down. It pulls there, but those are just little things. But turning it upside, I know that sounds crazy, but I have found more things I didn't even see in an
Right.
image when I turned it upside down. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it makes a big difference in just how your brain sees the image from what it's seeing from here to when we flip it is what it's again, you're not here we're looking at the story and the animal and the colors and all those balance. And this kind of forces us to look at it differently. This is why I loved working with a view camera because this is how you saw life. You could compose or learn composition and learn these things, I think, a little bit better. But this does definitely helps. And again, now when I do this background seems really light because it's nondescript from what we're seeing. But
Mhm.
all this could, even though, and there's a couple little tricks that Maker I'd be glad to share with you sometime. You can tone this down by using the masks in Lightroom or Photoshop Raw. You can bring this foggy, smoky look back out in a little overlay and then just take the sharpness out of it, add a little blur to it. You could bring that back. So it's very easy to do. Okay. We then have an image called Mother Preening.
Mother what?
Preening.
Oh, preening. Okay.
Preening,
Oh,
yeah. So here we have bath time. I think I'd have called it bath time.
oh, look, and get your little chicks down there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
see. Just real quick, I think that again, for me, but going black and white is
mhm.
really a good idea because these birds, especially you get a little bit of sunlight on them, you lose highlights so easily and all these extremely delicate tiny feathers. So that was a really good choice. A couple little things I would have done, maybe brighten the bird up just a tiny bit more because they are a bright white. And then I would have maybe I like this up here in the left. We could use I'm telling you guys to use the pen and I'm not using it. I like this area here, but this area here is just a bit too dark
Mhm. And
because
down there in the bottom too, right there.
yeah. And then also there's a little trick you could do where you could just with a little bit of burning and dodging, you could pull the baby's face out more because a lot of mom's feathers. We don't want to lose that story that's underneath mom and being protected, but if we could pull that face out just a tiniest bit more. But man, all of this is gorgeous. All of this is just fantastic. Even back right behind the bird is outstanding. The eye stands out nicely, but yeah,
Yeah, that's really, really nice. I agree with everything you said. Definitely, those would be the things that I would suggest as well.
even the gray
But
mat
I
works real
want those
well.
babies to pop out just a tad bit more
Right,
for sure.
right. And so this is a topic I always bring up, and I know you guys are probably tired of hearing it, but titling, because we all know how drastically serious that is. Yes, mother preening, um, but it doesn't. I mean, I don't feel, and I think I know a lot of PPA judges agree with this, just from conversations. You don't have to describe what's happening in the scene. Maybe you don't know the word preening or what she's doing, but she's cleaning herself, she's picking her feathers, whatever. So you really don't need to say what's happening. But because of that, I feel like we kind of lose the little guy down here. So if it was something more like under mother's protection or safe, mom's keeping me safe, brings that story together between mom protecting the little guy here underneath the wing. And what's your thoughts on that, Jessica? Do you?
Yeah, because when you said that, it took me a second or two before I actually saw the babies because preening, I was looking at what she was doing. I knew that's what that meant. So I was looking at her and then I was like, oh, and you heard me say, oh, there's babies. So
Right.
yeah, I would have definitely, like you said, I would tie the title into so that I'm going to see those babies. And they were really a second thought to me. And I think they're really the story here. I think that's what adds the interest to this image is those little babies down there. Because I've not seen an image, a bird image caught with the little chicks like that. I think that's a unique shot
Pretty
there that they
outstanding. Absolutely.
got.
Ricky, what do you want to add? We're not letting you talk.
No, that's compositionally. I'm looking at mom's head being in a PowerPoint, and then the chicks also in a PowerPoint. So I think it's a really strong composition. And then visually, we've got this kind of like leading line that comes in from the left. So I think the maker did a really good job in terms of the composition of the image.
Let me just try something here. There's a great little tool called shadow and highlights. You got to be real careful with it, but so you can just kind of open up those shadows. See, I'm only at like three how much it changed it, but I'm just trying to pull
Oh
up
yeah.
if we had just a little bit more in the background. It's changing the matte color too. And then I'm not going to do this. Let's see. Let me do a I'll just grab a levels layer here and pop some of that white back into here.
When you did that, it brought that texture behind them up again, and I like that I can see that now behind them. Oh yeah.
So all I've done is just to take and lighten up the take and. My dad used to say that. I used to get so mad at him. So that's not good English. Take and. Um, but I've lightened that shadow back there so it's not as heavy. It doesn't feel as weighted top heavy. And so there's just enough detail in there to let it be a distant object. I've brightened up the bird a little. This is very rough. It can be better fine-tuned. But the bird still has a nice brightness. Maybe I went a little too far here, but the chicks already stand out a little bit more. And then with a couple of masks where you could just hold those back, dodge these guys, lighten them up just a tiny bit more in behind Mom's Feathers, I think you'd have a really tremendously strong story. And then again, look at the title. And again, we're not trying, excuse me, like I said, we're not trying to slap hands, but titling, especially in PPA competitions, can be so make or break an image. And I think a lot of times if you just state what's in the scene, the judges are going to go, oh, yeah, you're right. Whereas if you put a story to it, they're going to lean forward. And then all of a sudden you get, however the scoring goes, two, three more, five more points. So, all right, down off the soapbox. And we move along to the next image. I'll clean that up in a sec here. We now have a big, we're going to say ooh all at one time here now. Nature's color harmony. Ooh,
Oh, this is beautiful.
isn't it?
Beautiful, beautiful. The maker's done a beautiful job with the capture of this and the waterfalls, the little water drops on it are really nice. I love the color palette they chose here with the green. There's green in that flower, and they've used that in the background and then the presentation itself. I enjoy that very much. Um, and I like what the maker's done here by adding a little bit of a lightness down here and up in here and over in here. It keeps me popping. They've kind of given me a little triangular area that keeps me bouncing through this image up and down.
Right.
Uh, yeah, I think I like the tightness of this crop because it's holding me in there. And I'm not always a big fan of a real tight crop, but I think on this one it really works.
Tremendous impact. Absolutely.
It has a lot of impact, a lot of impact. Uh, I might darken that, maybe just bring down the presentation just a hair. I don't mind it. I like it. I think it works. But oops, hold on a second. That's sorry. My son calling me.
Yeah, get his opinion while you're on the phone.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a tad bright for me. Just, I don't know. I might play with that just a little bit. Maybe just the way it needs to be. I mean, I really love this. I think it has beautiful impact. The color in it, everything, the capture. Yeah, I don't see anything I would necessarily say change on this.
Ricky, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking at the droplets, um, and
A little soft at the bottom one.
I'm sorry.
That bottom one's a little soft.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm looking at too. I was going to ask you guys your thoughts on that. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah. No, I was just going to mention, we've got light appears to be coming more from overhead, and naturally these water droplets are going to reflect a lot of light. So it might not be a bad idea to kind of, come in and tone them down just a little bit. But that was another point that I wanted to make too, as far as the softness of the.
I'm trying to figure out, I can't quite just determine where is this pedal in comparison with these two and this one, because I'm seeing a little softness. I'm telling you guys to use the pen and I'm not using mine.
Well, it's a little soft right here on the top of this pedal too. The more you see, you start seeing really a soft area right there.
Yeah, so I think this plane, I think that probably the plane of focus, because these drops look sharp right here. So that wrap around, so that this is probably in the same plane as here and here. So the focus point is just behind it. So yeah, that's a little soft and soft. And I think again, it's absolutely, I would be very proud to have done this one myself as a fine art piece. I'm just afraid in competition this pedal being so prominent that it's going to knock a score down quite a bit. This isn't so bad because it's muted, not as high contrast area, but this is a lot more prominent. I'm not sure what you could do to change that. I maybe would make this pedal darker so it's more in the same tone as this area here, so it's not as obvious. But you can see once you start hunting, you can see this is all soft as well.
Yeah, the more
Again,
you
I
look,
don't object to that, but this one is so obvious that so prominent, I'm afraid. What were you gonna say, Jessica? I stepped on your toes there.
I was saying I totally agree. And the more you look at it, the more you're seeing that. Like I said, the more I look at this it gets softer and softer, and then this area is bothering me.
Because I
It's
mean,
pretty.
this stuff back here
It's
is just
it's
fantastic.
it's
Oh,
sharp, beautiful.
even this little area right here, that's just with
Yeah,
the green, so that's just gorgeous. I'm just afraid in competition in this area especially. And then they see this and they start looking closer, and I think it would all of a sudden it would start at 92 and then come down and be down, all of a sudden you'd be at 84, and which is not a bad score. But hey, so if a judge thinks 92, we want it to stay there. We don't want it to come down.
yeah, exactly.
All right. Good stuff. Okay, then we have Nature's Symmetry. Oh, look. Another wowzer.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure is.
And look at the detail everywhere down the bottom left corner where the dark tones of the trees are still.
I think he forgot to set the timer because we just got this one.
Did are you still around, Click? Because he had to, yeah, I think
Well, we finished that
We'll be
last
fine.
week.
We can keep going. We're good. We're good.
so
We
Yeah,
fin-
this has
we
got
finished that
beautiful exposure on this. I mean,
yeah,
we held all the detail there with the lights hitting it all the way across the rocks.
full tonal range all the way through.
Yeah, the tunnel range is awesome. I think the sky's been handled really well.
Yeah.
I might want to maybe just take that little spot out there. Just being a picky thing, just looking there. But
Yeah, but they catch your eye and it just keeps you from flowing
yeah.
the scene. Yeah.
Now, okay, so tell me if you're seeing this, but I'm looking up in the sky and I'm starting to see a lot of lines in here.
And the blankers,
Yeah. Do you see that?
I see some lines like right here, but those are cloud edges or
No,
texture.
I'm like right in here, there's like little lines going up and down right
Oh,
in
even
there.
vertically. I don't see, Rick, do you see any of that stuff?
I see
And,
some paint. Yeah, I do.
yeah, and then right
Very
in here,
faint.
and I think what that is where they've pushed the con. Like once again, when you start pushing those pixels around, sometimes things will kind of
Oh yeah.
start warping.
I'll
And
do
yeah, just see you can see that just a little bit in those clouds.
Well, let me go back to Photoshop, will you here? Yeah, so I'm trying to see there's some weather right here, so I'm wondering if that's
And
precipitation
it
right
may be the
here.
weather. That may be what it is. I mean, I just picked up on it. That'd just be something somebody might say something like right here. You can see a purple line. Can you see that purplish line running through there,
Oh,
right
I do
there?
now when you just put it that way. Yeah,
Okay. See,
that's
and
definitely
I
yeah.
see that throughout the whole sky in several places. So I would I might go back in the maker and maybe carefully adjust that sky a little bit, back it down because that that's just from pushing the limits on it a little bit. And when you do
Right,
that, those pixels start kind of doing funky things.
right.
And this image, this is a wowzer image. And I don't want when it comes up, I want the judge to be taken. I don't want them to start seeing things like that. It's going to pull them out, and they're going to
Right.
say something. So
And then
that would be something I'd fix. But the composition's beautiful, presentation. I think black and white was dead on how this should be been
yeah,
done.
very well handled throughout. And Maker don't think that we're trying to be overly picky, but we've all been doing these. We hear things the judges say, and sometimes you go, "What?" But it happens. So we're trying to head that off a little bit for you. But this is absolutely phenomenal tonal range. I mean, even in the look at just the light hitting this face of this cliff right here. It's not just black and white. I mean, there's
So
three or
there's all,
four zones in
yeah,
there right
all
there.
those zones are in there. Yeah.
And again, the detail down here through the base of the blacks, nice natural vignette. Even you can see the ridge line along the bottom here. So just nothing blown out in the whites up here. Yep, I would definitely check. And another little simple thing too, if you have it in the original, is if you take this into 16-bit, you could lose some of those problems. I've done that before where or
Okay.
you may have to re-export it from Lightroom or something like that, but to save it as I think you could probably even change it in a TIFF or PSD format. Change it to a 16-bit and you will lose some of those because I'm seeing just a little bit of purple haze. I'm seeing a little bit of what you're
Yeah,
talking about right there. Minor, but if we see it, those darn judges will see it too.
they will. They will.
Then you'll
You
be
feel
mad at us because we didn't tell you about it.
rats. That's really beautiful.
Yeah. Anything else, Rick, you want to care to add?
And just alluding to what both of you were saying as far as the little gotchas, if you want to call them that.
Yeah.
Typically, if a judge sees one and makes a comment about it, judges are going to lean in and
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
being on a hunt, well, what else
Yeah.
is that we're missing? So, obviously we want to make it as pristine as we can from the very beginning. But I mean that there's a heck of a lot of impact to this image, and as beautiful as the cliffs and the formations are, to me, what makes this image is that cloud formation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Very
does.
strong. Yeah. Yeah. If it was just the ridge line in a gray sky, it would be pretty seen, but that cloud just really makes the story, adds intensity to it. Think back of viewers the enlarging that I've been doing stuff obviously that can't happen, that won't happen during the competition, but back in the day when we would go to a hotel and sit in a shoulder to shoulder row with five judges, we could get up and walk up to the photograph itself and get close and look at it. So a judge is going to lean in and look at even though they can't enlarge it, they're going to lean in and look at your picture. So that's what flipping it upside down. Like I keep seeing Jessica point out that little spot there, and there's even this little dark spot in the cloud here. Just little things like that. There's even this in here. I like all this little fringing here, but just some of those little things I would definitely look to tone out. Flip it upside down, you'll see them a lot clearer. All right. Pretty in pink. Not a word you would think to use.
Oh, what a fun image
Funny.
this is.
That is
This is
awesome.
great. He's up in the cherry blossom tree.
Yeah, that is
Uh,
too good.
that and I love where they've cropped it, where he's placed at. Um, I'm just the flowers are so vibrant and crisp. He's not popping there. He looks like a little bit desaturated.
It
Right.
does look soft gray, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And he looks a little soft. Uh I wouldn't change the flowers. I don't think I would add or do anything else to those flowers, but I think I would work on him a little bit and because he needs to pop out of there a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
just a little bit darker. And of course, what I
And I
would
like it.
suggest,
I like what I did to the flowers though. That works for the flowers too. And then so
probably
yeah,
get rid of that and brighten up his eyes
yeah,
a little bit. I think you got it.
brighten up his eyes. Exactly. I would I wouldn't do that key line so thick. I would this would be a good image to do a double thin key line. You could do that little light color that you used as your key line, just do it as 3 pixels
Right.
uh, uh, around and then go out a little bit and do another one. If you wanted to do a double one on this one, I think this would be a good one to do that on. I think that would work real nice. I think the color and everything was perfect, dead on to go with those flowers. That way it creates a foundation that's not pulling me out. It is pulling me out a little bit right now because we have that very wide light key line around it. So I would definitely thin that down. And then bringing him up, yes, take that little spot off his mouth.
Yeah, little guy right there. And then again, I would just go and dodge, hold back the eyes so they stand out a little bit more.
Yeah, because he's got light. You can see the little catch lights in his eyes. Just bring him up a little bit.
Some sunglasses on him otherwise.
There you go.
Sorry.
What a fun capture of him hiding up there in
I
those.
know, isn't that when that came in through the email to the maker, I'm like, holy cow, that is just too cool.
That is so cool. I think this just needs a few little tweaks that we just talked about. And
Yeah, and I will tell you too that in either Lightroom or the Photoshop, if you go into the Camera Raw editor, you can select just the animal and beef up the contrast so it goes a little darker like we've done, but not lose the because it's very low contrast. Even the sunlight on his mask of his face could be just a little brighter. But then if you just make it dark, you're going to lose all of this and the top of his heads. But you could go in and control those areas a little bit and kind of still pull out what we've done here. I think this
yeah,
would.
he definitely needed to be popping out a little more. He was a little too faded.
How's the portrait lighting on that, Rick? Is that good? Not good?
A little flat,
Little
but I
flat.
think that's one of the reasons that he's lacking that contrast. I think that the lighting in general is, excuse me, is muted. But the comments that you made about bringing all that back is certainly something that can be done.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the image, but it's all balanced and even well enough between the colors, the shapes, a few branches, but nothing really stands out. Otherwise, maybe this little area down here could be get rid of that little branch or drop another flower and there's something but it's very minor. It's not a big.
Well, I was looking at it and I'm thinking that I might even come across here and take some of that, make this more of a skinnier.
Oh,
I
crop
don't
it?
really, yeah, I would probably crop that bottom off there, and push him more into that third. Yeah, come on up, come on up. Yeah. Now, you might even want to,
I'll just lose the mat right now so we can.
yeah, just lose the mat and then give me just a tad bit more at the bottom. Just a tad bit more.
Like
Right,
that.
right in there. And now let me see. Yeah, and maybe take a little off the top now. I think we just need to take a little bit off the top. Now he becomes a little bit more to me the story.
It still
I mean,
tells the story though, doesn't it?
it
So
still tells the story, but I see him and all those flowers. I just didn't think, I just didn't think we needed all. They need all that.
yeah, it is a great story, no doubt about that. But you're right. I don't think it's necessary again for um, the PPA world. Let me just go back into the history here real quick, and this isn't bad by any means, but
I
that's
think those
that's
changes.
more powerful for the animal, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Look at that face.
Yeah.
Only
See,
a
now really, I go right to him big time at now.
a face only a mom could love, as they say, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're doing pretty well on time here, so that's why I'm kind of so we're not ignoring you, Cliff. I do hear the music, but let's go with a little disheveled.
A little disheveled. Oh, wow. Isn't this interesting? I guess this is like a
Post
flower
bloom.
that's kind of
Yeah, post
is the end of
bloom.
its thing. Yeah, yeah. Wow, what an interesting capture. I love the way it leads me up to it there. The flower itself is the this part here. Wait, where's my little? I keep losing my little pencil. This right here is look at the detail in that. Look at you can see the fuzz on that.
Yeah, it looks like velvet or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Now this over here we've lost. It's really soft. But boy, that right there is like killer sharp. I would probably go in and maybe take that out. Possibly
Oh,
this
along
red.
the I see down there. Yeah.
Yeah,
What about
yeah.
this? What about this guy here?
Yeah, that too, because I was going to say that's a little distracting. It's bright. So I don't, like I said, I don't want anything pulling me away from the center of attention, which is, man, this right here is just really a great, look at you see the fur on that. I'm just,
Yeah.
I wish this was, maybe that's not a big deal. I don't know. This seems to be the center point. I just worry about this being soft, them saying something about that, but
Whatever.
I guess the petal that's wilted away there. But
Well, it's
it
definitely look at the again. Oops.
yeah,
Oh,
the little furry things on the stem.
there. So I kind of see the story is this area right here.
Yes, right
Look at
there.
these little guys here, and then this is kind of more supportive. I think this kind of the stem is this is really sharp. The stem is a little less, and this old blossom is even less. So I think it creates some depth in it.
Okay.
Well, it's me. You don't have to agree with me.
No,
That's
I love this image. I really do. I wanted to bring that up because I wanted your opinion on it
yeah.
because I would maybe what I would do is tone this white down because it is pulling me to it. That's why I
Oh
keep
yeah.
going because it's brighter than and this right here
That,
is so beautiful. I'd bring this down, bring less attention to that, and make sure all the attention is this.
yeah, probably all these
This right
guys,
here is where I want the attention. This
all
right here
this,
I'd bring down.
all this stuff.
Yeah, I would bring them down. I wouldn't take them out, and the reason being, we've got a repetition of diagonals, and with the stem being a
Oh,
diagonal,
sure.
and then these diagonal
Oh, back here. Yeah, yeah.
and
So you're just
background.
saying kind of bring them down into the same density over
Yeah,
here.
I really do
Back
like
here.
the way the background was rendered. Other than these adjustments that we're going to make down at the bottom of the stem, but
Yeah, me too.
those diagonal streaks, I think, are really uh, helpful in terms of the composition because they're repeated in a
Yeah,
certain.
they support the angle of the flower, don't they? The stem.
Yeah. Just tone them down a little bit. I think is all really needs to be done to those.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and the presentation's beautiful. Uh,
Yes.
I like that they've given us like the beveled look here instead of a key line. I think that's very artsy. It for an art, it makes this very much an art piece.
Right. I'm seeing there's a drop shadow that's been added from the image and from the mat. So it's the drop shadows don't touch. There's kind of a lighter line in here. So
Yeah.
I mean it's a minor thing, but it's one of those things once you see it, once a judge sees it, they're not gonna unsee it. So watch for that. Very cool.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Really beautiful. I want to know what kind of flower that is. That's so cool. Obviously that's some kind of
That's
wild
Oh,
thing out
it's a
there.
poppy. Yeah, it's a
It's
poppy.
a poppy.
Yeah.
Okay.
what
They
kind of flower it was, huh?
right, yeah.
Very cool. Very pretty.
Okay. So we're doing pretty well here on images. Then we can come up with I forget where I left off here. There, there. Nope, we did that one. Oh, here we are. Ooh, this is cool. Rhythm of the Night.
Oh, wow.
Wowzers.
Oh, wow. That's really pretty. I really love this is awesome because you've got the Aurora Belly, however you say it, going on, and it's got the purple and the purple light on the rocks and in the water. I
Right.
mean, yeah, that's beautiful. And in the snow.
Yeah, the
Uh,
snow picking up all that color. That's so
and
cool.
I'm looking through this. It's sharp. I love that you got stars. Yeah, I love the flow. I love the composition of this image because you're flowing with that river that's
Yep.
running through there, the curves and lines that are leading you there, and then you go up to the mountain and there's curves and lines, and of course then you got your lines coming in at the sky. So it's got beautiful composition. It makes it very strong. Presentation's really nice. I see this is where the double key line to me works. I think it looks really nice here.
Yep. Just
Uh,
supportive, just nice, soft.
just gives it a little bit of an extra finessing elegance to it.
Don't you
Rick, what
get
do you want to add?
visually, don't you get the sense of the being there and actually
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very 3D.
Yeah.
Feels like 3D.
Well, and I think the really nice touch to this with the long exposure is getting this flow of water, the softness, but look at the same colors are reflecting in the water that are in the sky. That just brings it full circle for me. Now, so my other question to Rick is where would you put the family? Jessica, he takes all my fine art landscape says this is great background. I'd put the family right here.
There you go.
No,
There you go.
this is stunning. And
This is beautiful.
I have to say this, I haven't said this for a
Look at
couple
the
of
detail
shows.
in the trees. I
Yeah.
mean, the detail over there in the trees. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's just very well done.
Well, even back on the trees back here, there's just enough
Yeah.
detail to make it not just be one big black blob of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I would do differently here, and I have to say it because I haven't done it for a couple of shows, wait until Rick gets back. The only thing that's missing is it needs to say Jeff Johnson right down here in the corner, right?
There-
And then it's 100. Then it's 100. Oh my maker, I'm so sorry. Beautiful work. Okay.
That is gorgeous.
We now have something called something missing.
Something
So
missing.
we're shifting gears here to more of a photojournalistic. That's a pretty good title. I like that a lot. That's a
That is a good title.
great story.
You got the lock and no bike or anything attached to it.
Well,
I
even
love that. I mean, what a great angle that they've shot
yeah,
at this. I mean, they
yeah,
say this because they got the repeating little line, the shadows on the ground, and then the things themselves, the bike rack or whatever that is.
yep,
And then you got the lines in the concrete as well. So there's a lot of uh, composition going on in this image just with the architectural things that are in it. Though the maker I love their view and their perspective that they've shot this at. Um, I'm assuming this doesn't have a presentation. Am I correct?
it does not, correct.
You know what I
I,
appreciate? Go ahead, Jessica. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
What I appreciate about images like this is that the maker sees something that's just ordinarily
Yeah.
mundane and makes a an art piece out of it, which this is. I mean, uh, it's a study of light and shadow, composition, very, very strong diagonals, something that so many of us would just walk right by. And yet,
Exactly. That's exactly it. People, they may see
Yeah.
it, but they don't register it as being something interesting.
I mean, the fact that they saw this and everything's got that round loop, including the little lock itself, is the same
Mhm.
shape. That's just kudos to the person, the photographer here, because I think I love that, I love when I see stuff like this because I think, wow, I wish my brain would work like that. I was like,
I hear you. Well, that and then I think the one little thing that really adds to this is that one little leaf right there too.
a
Because
little leaf.
that
Yeah.
adds to me, that adds to the, I'll say, desolation or the loneliness or the whole feeling of, well, somebody took their bike or it was stolen and they left a lock, but there's one little leaf sitting there and he's missing his home too. So
Yeah.
just the story just goes deeper. So
Well,
Yeah.
let's play with it a bit. Do that conversion, Jeff, at black and white. Just
black and white. I mean, I just have to pause for me because Rick said it, I didn't. Just so everybody knows.
But I'm going to say I'm going to end up liking it in color because I love the gold. I love the way the gold bars are popping off with the play on the rest of the color in the image.
Right.
See, it's not as pop. It's not as poppy. It doesn't pop as much in black and white. I like that gold.
Yeah. This, so this is very, I like, because I like the black and white, you can see the textures, but this very much does give you more of that late afternoon, everybody's gone, empty, lonely, where's my bike, where's my tree, um, kind of a feeling. So I can tend to lean to the,
Well, we know there's no presentation. What are your recommendations for presentation?
yeah, good question. Because if you went in, you wouldn't want to go with a gold or anything, but you could go with a dark brown that was something in the stains or the rust. Maybe
Yeah.
you could probably even get by with a presentation of the same color as the concrete.
That's what I was going to say. I would probably start with the concrete. And if you did a key line in it, you might could get away. You might try. Gosh, I don't know. I think I would almost go like you said, the concrete is the matte and maybe do the key line a real thin of the gray of the shadow
Yeah,
area. That might
yeah,
be really cool.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I'm afraid if you tried to go with a gold or a dark brown might work, but there's so much lighter tones in here that the dark brown matte over here is going to ask for more attention. This is so
You got
subtle.
to go with that. Yeah, you got to go with that more that this well, where's my little pencil? I've lost my pencil, but there it is. Sort of in this color, right in this color, maybe, or
Yeah,
as in here,
yeah,
because that's all the way around. And then you could try something in this or this color here for a key line, might look really good. Just give
right.
it sort of a fine art look to it.
Yep,
Yeah, I love this. This is cool. This is a very cool piece.
yep. Kudos to the maker on that one. Very cool. Okay, so let's go on with, we've only got a few more here. On close, there we go. So we have strutting his stuff. Definitely looks like he's strutting along, young buck.
Just strutting, isn't he?
Yep.
All right. This would be an image that I would consider flipping so that I don't come into his romp. If we
Okay.
flipped it around and I'm coming into the face, that would be a suggestion. And the nice thing too, it's got a leading line. This shadow or whatever here, if you flipped it, that would help lead you to him. That would be a suggestion. Um, have we put, is it the background or have we put a noise
I would say
layer?
probably, I mean, it could have been, a high ISO, but I'm betting that because there is definitely some grain. I hate to say noise. Noise sounds like it's a problem. Grain is something we used to do on purpose.
This looks like an overlay to me, that like it might have an overlay on it possibly because the same texture
Right,
in this down in the bottom of it too.
right, right.
Uh, and I know why they did that. I think they were trying to give us that background there, but If that's an overlay, then I would suggest you back it off a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Back it
Yeah.
off just a little.
Did you, when it first came up, did you kind of see that first?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's what I was going to think too. So I like the idea, but maybe just whatever, if it's a separate layer, whatever percentage, just cut it in half. Try that. Because it doesn't,
Yeah.
it works fine on the animal. You don't see it there. So because I will use those a lot myself because it will bring out depth and detail in a subject. But yeah, when you get a background that's more like this. But I like the softness. It's almost like, it almost feels like a pencil sketch
Yeah.
background. But yeah, maybe just, and the matte and the little key line of just that black or dark brown is awesome.
Hmm. Yeah. And I like it flipped. Do y'all agree with me flipping it so that we're coming into his face and not his rump?
Yes.
So let me just throw this one off of you guys. We've got because we had oh my goodness, Dave Huntsman's joining us.
Oh no. I told him I was doing this, so he's gonna get on.
Mr. Dave Huntsman, how are you, buddy? Thanks for joining us, man. Good to see you. So I was going to say, so here's the conversation we had actually in the last two shows, and since you weren't with us, Rick, I'll just and it's not right or wrong, it's just different. We had some subjects like this where the our judges preferred to have the subject's face coming this way from right to left because we're looking left to right into the face first. So they liked this they probably wouldn't have liked.
I think it's got more power. If you look at the two when you flip it, is he not more prominent to you when it's flipped?
Well, you see
Absolutely.
the face first, the horns and then the tail is not as obvious. Whereas here, we just tend to lead and see the tail first because especially it is lighter color.
Well, I go right to that back leg when it's the other way
Sure.
around.
Yeah. And I think again, for what it's worth, I would like to have seen it's not centered, but I still maybe if this border was maybe this far over instead.
Yeah, a little bit more walking space
Instead
for
of right
him.
here, maybe it lengthen it the whole length. And nowadays you can easily expand this or change things. This is good distance here, but I would
Yeah.
like to see just a little bit more here. Of course, I like that long horizontal anyhow.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay, very cool. So we're moving along quite well. We've got I lost my stuff. Here we go. Sun's final glow. Again, there is no mat on this one, so but it's the sun's final glow.
Oh, wow. This is beautiful. I love the yellow tone of the sunset. Usually it looks orangey, and on
Right.
this particular one, we got a yellow feel to it. I love the way that looks. Really sharp, lots of great depth of field in this image all the way. Wow.
Well, look at the even the detail on the trees down at the bottom left,
Yeah, yeah, big time right there.
the
Just
shadow
and
on.
all through, even over in the shadow areas, there's
Yeah,
great detail on the tops of those trees. The sky's been handled really nice. I don't see anything funky going on in the sky. I love the way that's been handled. Uh,
yeah,
wow, this
because
is gorgeous.
sometimes you get this scene, and if the sky is just all blue, it's nice. Sometimes you get too many clouds and they take over from the scene because there's an awful lot of textures going on in this scene, the face of the rock here, even the shadows, and then all the clouds. It's awful lot to go on, but this is handled just very, very well, more better.
And
And
more or better. And you've
Go
got
ahead,
that warm
Jessica.
light coming in. You got
yeah,
that warm light coming in, you're catching that same little bit of hint of that yellow warm light up in the clouds all through it as well, where
yeah,
that sun.
exactly. Yeah.
And this came up, a few months ago, the lack of presentation. Sometimes an image doesn't need presentation.
Right.
When as I'm looking at this image, uh, let's talk about it from both a competition point of view and a commercial point of view. If we look at it from a competition point of view, then yeah, I guess maybe we better put something on it to enhance it. But looking on the commercial side is selling. I see this, with this beautiful light and contrast and definition. think about how it might look like as a metal print.
Well,
Oh gosh, that's
yeah,
beautiful.
just seeing the tones in the metal, wouldn't that be phenomenal?
Would
Yeah.
be fun. Well, I'm just going to say kudos to the maker on this for the fact that this image has been done so well. They bumped up the contrast a little bit on it and the saturation, but they didn't go too far. I
Right.
mean, and so many times that these days you see stuff pushed a little bit too far. They did not on this. They did handle this really well.
Yeah.
And look at the little bit of the little grove of aspen down here in the bottom, the orange
Yeah.
tone. Just giving us, say, hey, don't forget about us down here.
Just the detail throughout this whole image is phenomenal.
Yeah, could you see this in a 7 foot wide print on metal in somebody's office, or even on a plaque mount, the Duraplaque mount? That would be pretty stunning.
Looks like Jan's asking what color mat we would recommend for this.
Wow, I'm gonna take a shot. That's tough.
Jan, if I were you, I would go in and I'd probably select something from, let me get my pencil again. I keep losing it. Maybe looking at something in the stone colors here and keeping it something in that maybe the gray area. This would be one you just gonna have to try a bunch of different stuff with and see what works because of the yellow on it and the blue, and you got the warm and the cool tones in this. I would probably go with something in these areas.
Yeah,
Like
I don't see
right in here or up in here,
Oh,
maybe
right, yeah, yeah.
colors possibly, or this even this light color stone over on this side. Maybe select some color there
That's
and
kind of
try it.
neutral. That would work, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd stay away from the blue.
Yeah, don't
I'd
do
stay
blue.
away from this bright yellow gold. This is probably a good choice right here, what she did, because it's almost a neutral gray. It's like almost like a mid-tone gray there, so it'll be very supportive. And you can take a lot of times I'll take an image and I'll go with a gray matte, and then I'll start leaning it towards the color of the scene just ever so slight. So it's, I
Yeah.
mean, not this color, but it might lean towards a warm tone. It might lean towards a darker green or something like that.
Thea commented that possibly what our thoughts would be with the
Yeah,
fine,
the
fine art off-white. Yeah.
I think so. That's kind of what I always go to quite often is, and I think that's being accepted more in competition these days. What do you guys think about that? I seem that it's a couple, three,
Yeah.
or even 4 or 5 years ago, a white mat, and somebody just think, oh, it's white.
Yeah.
I
That was
think
a
it's being
case of death.
accepted more now, but I think that would be a good point for this would be the fine art
It
white.
probably would. I would try it. Because like I said, I was leaning toward that lighter color gray tone rocks is what I was thinking.
Just don't go full white. Take it maybe in the 15% range of off of white, so it's not a blinding white. But you don't want it to be an obvious gray either. If you're looking for that white look, just try some different things. We've only got a couple, three more here, so we're doing
Yeah.
pretty well.
Give me a couple minutes, would you, Jeff?
You want to take a break? I meant to show the advance of this. Should we take a quick break?
Yeah, please.
So it is 20:35. Yeah, just like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll stick around if anybody has any questions or thoughts, or we're gonna get bad jokes out of somebody yet here tonight. I see Dave just checked in and he's gone. I don't see him on the list now here.
Oh, did he leave? Well, he didn't stay very long.
He was just making sure you weren't lying to him. Well, he was our guest last year, so that was
Yeah, he told me. I told him I was going to do this. He goes, "Oh, I did it last year." So
yeah. He was. Of course, I've well, obviously I've known him for a long time. His work is just every time I'm at a certain wherever I'm in this country photographing, there's a scene I know Dave would love, kind of a thing. It's a
yeah,
Dave stamp, Dave approved.
he's fun to shoot with. When we went out west and we were shooting, it was sometimes I would just stop and just watch him look at a scene.
Sure.
I just and just like okay, I'd ask him. I'm like, what are you looking at? What are you seeing there? I would just pick his brain because I wanted to see it the way he was seeing it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's what's
The
so
nice,
fun to go shoot with your friends, especially
yeah,
their work and how they've been shooting for years, but to see how they create it, see what they
yeah,
see in the wild. Yeah.
yeah, that's fun. But you guys are so lucky out there. Y'all have such beautiful landscapes just out your back door.
Well, at any time of the year, really, there's something that
Yeah.
isn't far. And I live up closer to Rocky Mountain National Park, so I can just get a friend and drive into the park or anywhere before the park. There's plenty of waterfalls and everything.
Yeah, that's
All
so
you guys are
cool.
invited. Come on out. Let me know when you're coming. We'll go shoot.
I didn't know you were that close to the park, or I would have hollered at you when we came out
Oh no,
there.
yeah, that's fine. No, I'm in Longmont, which is um Highway 66 goes from 25 right west right into the park, and I'm just about halfway between Highway 25 and Lyons. So it's almost within walking distance.
Wow.
But there's so many other cool things around here that aren't even in the park, just other areas. And there's the botanical gardens out here that are nearby are not your perfectly well groomed garden beds. They're looks like the hillsides of Colorado. Of course, all these flowers. So they're just, I got one just down the street from me here. It's just fabulous to walk into, and and they're happy to have you. Of course, you bring a camera that gets a $10 fee, but $10, that's worth it for what you can walk out of there with. So
Oh, yeah.
it's very
Wow.
cool. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Any
Re-
questions? Anybody in the audience here? Let's see. We got a good Rita has a good line. Everything's within walking distance if you walk long enough. That's a good motto. Can I put that on a t-shirt?
I like that. That is good.
So actually, just to mention that all the years I've been doing my road trips and workshops and stuff, people say some goofy things, and I actually have been making a list of those, and I'm going to start an online t-shirt business with those sayings. So a lot of them won't mean a lot to a lot of people, but it doesn't matter. It's kind of like you guys have all heard, who Ansel Adams and those guys, where they had a little group that they called the F-64 Club, and just obviously they're shooting with the view cameras, and that was sharp. So Rick and I created our own group, and you guys can all be members of it. We're going to be the F 5.6 Club because we're just not that sharp. So that's the t-shirt.
All
All right,
right.
Rick, are you back? Are you ready to
I'm
go?
back.
All right.
Okay, so this one is called Pretty Little Flower.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow. This is
Isn't
beautiful.
that sweet?
Oh, I love this. I love this. And I love this because I love the composition here because we've got the little stems and it leads me. I'm just bouncing around till I get to that beautiful flower on the end. Man, I don't know how they handled the background, but kudos. That is absolutely breathtaking. Uh, Beautiful, beautiful. The flower itself is beautiful. The color balance, everything in that is gorgeous. Presentation. Man, I'm not seeing anything that I would change on that at all.
Yeah,
It's kind of all jewel tones throughout, isn't it? Almost.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I love that darker blue up in the corner because it kind of balances with the purple or flower there, and then it
Oh
leads
yeah.
into the colors of the background over here, the same colors that's in the main subject flower there itself.
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah, that's just gorgeous. Wow, I wish
and
I'd have shot
with the presentation, the color of the mat, I think is just
perfect.
right there where it needs to be. It's the inner liner is a little brighter, and that's not.
You think that's too bright, Rick, or
It
Oh,
may be just a little, but
I don't
I'm
know if I would
emotion?
change it. I think I wouldn't change it because I think it's holding me in there. It's holding me right into that because
yeah,
that same brightness is in that flower itself.
Yeah, good
To
point.
me,
yeah.
I think that all just balances beautiful.
And you know what I'm hearing too, and it depends on what side of the fence you are. And I know where I stand, but there are some judges that kind of get turned off with the drop shadow from the mat,
Yeah.
uh, and others that it's not an issue. Personally, it's not an issue for me, but I hear a lot of times where uh, a judge would say, well, kind of bothered by the drop shadow from the mat. But I just as it sits, I think it would do very, very well. If there's any room to the left, I probably would want to see a little bit more. And the reason being, we've got that
Over
stem.
here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that stem that's coming down on the let's see, get my marker here.
So
Yeah,
maybe the
it's
stem's kind of
the
coming out of this.
tangent point here where
Yeah.
it's bumping into the edge of the image. So if we have a little bit more to the left, I think that would be helpful. And then possibly cropping in from the right. And the only reason I'm saying that is to push, the main point a little bit closer into the PowerPoint here.
Gotcha. Yeah, when it
Yeah,
first came up, I thought this looks like it's almost a bullseye. It's not, but it kind of.
Yeah.
not. It's over there. Just that, well, the little curls kind of in that third, but wow, it's got such beautiful impact. I mean, just lovely.
Yeah.
And I'm with you, Rick, on this. To me, that drop shadow and that there just adds a layer of
Some
depth.
depth? Yeah.
Yeah,
Layer of
absolutely.
depth to it.
Absolutely.
You think if the drop shadow were maybe softened or a little bit less opacity, it might be more better? Or not? You're just saying leave it alone?
I love it just the
I
way
just
it
don't
is.
have a problem with the way it is.
I love it just the way it is.
Okay, I agree with you. So
I love this. This is gorgeous.
very cool.
Just so soft.
Yeah, this is one that you see on think of going into a high-end bed and breakfast where they have this, 40, 60-inch print above the bed or something, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's how I see that. Pretty little flower. Okay. We now have, he's got a couple more to go here. So we have, did that one. Sunset over poppies. There's your poppies, Jessica. What do you think?
My poppies. I love poppies. Y'all have a lot of those out there, don't you? Oh, and I see the
Certain areas, yeah.
little furry ball on that. That's pretty. Beautiful capture. I would tell the maker right off the bat, lower back off a little bit on that saturation and contrast on this because it's the poppies are just losing their texture because they're so
Yeah, they're almost effervescent.
they've been pushed up so much.
Yeah.
It's also affected the greens as well. All your green trees and everything. I think that saturation needs to be back down a little bit. And also in the sky, I would take care of this little dark spot up here in the sky. I would get rid of that.
Oh,
Touch
gosh.
that out. I don't know if I would do. I think I would not do a red key line on this. And maybe if when they tone it down, it won't be as much. But to me, it's I don't think it's doing anything for the image itself. That
Right.
red key.
Are you seeing that key line losing its color value as it goes around in other words, as I'm
I am. Like it looks like it's losing it right here. Looks like a spot that
It's
it kind
interesting.
of lost.
It is, yeah.
Like right here. And then
because it's really bright along the left side, but then that same color isn't holding on the bottom as I see it.
Yeah, this is tough. Reds and greens together, and then blacks can be quite the optical illusion. But it might because I look at it, so I maybe see just a little bit more border matte, and then you could
yeah,
take that. And if you wanted to do a red key line, you could make it just a little darker red and take it down to 1 point, because
yeah.
that will jump off the black anyhow. Um, but you could do a gray keystroke, pin stroke, and that would do the same thing. But what an amazing view. Yeah, the saturation is just a hair much. Um, but what a great story. What a great evening.
It is. It's beautiful flowers and it's sharp all the way through. So yeah, I would just back that saturation off on those. Uh, and I think it's gonna would do a lot better.
More
And
better.
I do more better. And I would play with that key line. I don't know if I would do maybe like you said, a much thinner red key line and a little more matte.
Yeah, just little bits of all those things. It's not major changes, just
No,
tweaking
it's
it
just
here
a
and there.
tweaking. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. It's funny I didn't notice that black thing in the sky there that you circled, but it looks like a UFO or something. I wonder
Yeah,
if
I was gonna say it looks like a UFO. I thought that too.
could that be something on the lens or on the sensor? It's just
Yeah,
such
it could
a
be.
different shape, but yeah. So yeah, Maker, if you're listening, look at that and check your sensor too, so you're not seeing it everywhere. But this is just such a beautiful, uh, calming,
Yeah, field of poppies. All
yeah,
the little bulbs of poppies that have, I'm assuming those little balls mean they haven't opened up
right.
yet.
Yeah, all these guys here are brand new that come out. And this poppy field goes so fast too. Within 3 weeks, it's
Gone.
thousands and thousands of these guys are like the size of a softball or larger. And then they're gone, just like that.
Hmm.
Wow.
But
Wow.
we go back out there in maybe the fall because all these seed pods turn this beautiful antique brown that makes some cool stories. And then of course you can get some seeds and bring them home to your house.
Yeah.
Too fun. All right, let's see. You got the wrong tool again. Hold on one sec. Then we have the young and the old.
The young and the old.
I'll give you a little more.
Oh, oh, I love
That's
them.
that is
Oh, I love
nice.
this. Oh my goodness, this is awesome.
What an awesome story.
Oh my gosh, I love how they've held all the detail, the story, the moment they and just the crop. Uh,
Yeah.
you got the earth coming out from the left and leads you back into that image there.
Yeah.
Uh, oh yeah, I love this black and white. I think the tonality in this black and white is just
Fabulous.
beautiful. This is a wowza. This is a wowza. Look at the gentleman at the end with his hands on his hips
Yeah.
and the guy squatting behind him, obviously doing something there. What a beautiful capture of life in this. And it's just so well exposed, so technically excellent capture.
Yeah.
This was done in the camera. This is an image. They did it right in the
Yep.
camera. You know what I mean?
Totally agree with you there. Yep. Yep. And
And I love
the
the white mat and the key line. Yeah, this is fabulous.
yeah,
You
this
know
is
what I
that
appreciate
slight
about
off white I was talking about. Sorry, go ahead, Rick.
no, what I appreciate about the presentation is it isn't a stark white.
Right.
You know, a good friend of ours, Kevin Holliday, I learned this from him. You know about going with the white mat and then backing off about 10%, and that
Yeah.
just made a world of sense, and it makes a world of difference too.
Yeah. I mean, I just keep looking through this and seeing more details and in the story and everything. It's just that fabulous. Kudos to this maker.
No kidding. Well, look at this great little story. The little guy looking right in the camera, but look at the gentleman
Yeah.
peeking around. You
Yeah.
can see one eye. Just
Yeah.
like he thinks we can't see him. He's
Yeah.
peeking around the pub. And even
Yeah.
down in the dirt, the slope of the dirt and the little path of the road down the bottom right corner, just so well handled. The textures and there's nothing that stands. I mean, I wouldn't do anything different to this at all. This is just,
I think.
and even I'm glad that you kind of the posts here holding up this little roof. There's a little bit of a slant to them, but it kind of goes along with the story because this post here is slanted the other way.
Oh yeah.
The front of this building's
Nothing's
going.
gonna be square in this scene. You know what
No,
I mean?
exactly,
That's
exactly.
right.
Yeah, yeah. This is
This is
very well
fabulous.
done. Yeah,
High five on that one.
absolutely. Okay, then we have where this is going to be a tongue twister here. Where wild meets the walls.
Or wild meets the walls. Oh,
Now just look at it for a second. It'll hit you, but
yeah.
creative title. I like that.
I like that too. And and this shot in some pretty bright light, so they've done a really good job
Yeah,
holding
yeah,
the texture because if you look at the lizard, he's very well exposed, all the detail in his little his skin, whatever you want to call. I don't know.
I,
What do you call what they have?
skin, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, very cool. This little long tail right on the edge of the rock and up against that wall. The sky's been handled really well. Uh, I mean, really, the only thing that I don't know. Wait a minute. I'm seeing something up here in the sky. Uh, I might bring it down just a tad. I think I would bring it down just a tad, which would richen up his green a little
Okay,
bit, I think.
let's do
And
this.
then, yeah. See, look, I love how he's starting to pop.
Yeah,
Now, when you did that, see, I was seeing this and now I see it even more, what's going on in the sky.
I'd see that too.
And I saw it before you did it, but when you lowered that, then
Yeah.
I saw it
Kind of
even
a
more. Yeah,
kind of a
this
banding
right
effect. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Just where you made your boxes there, Rick, the bottom and the top is
yeah. Now, this is something where we don't need all that information at the top. This would do very well to take the top off and get rid of that problem sky
well,
because
let's
he's the
do that.
story, all of that there. I don't really need that up there.
Let's just do that. Because we could actually come in, whoops, not that far in. We could come down to shoot
Right
maybe
about
here.
yeah, yeah.
Now we still have this line back here. That's
They'll have that, but I think that would be easier to clean up possibly than all that other.
yeah, but
But
I am seeing some banding in this area too. And
yeah,
sometimes blues when you take like if you go into specifically adjust the blues and you push it too far, they're very susceptible to that. So you might want to make her if you're in the room here, you might want to look at the blue I don't want to say channel, but like selective color in Photoshop. And maybe you could back this off a little bit so it's going to be a lighter blue, but you'll help probably get rid of those things. Because when it first came up, I was trying to decide, was that sky we're looking at? But I don't think so. I think it's building because this edge, this is
I think
obviously
it is
from here.
too. Yeah. But I love it brought down because what it does to the lizard. I think he pops more. Uh, and like you said, I think yeah, that's pretty cool, black and white.
Yeah, this really is pronounced.
Hmm.
So I'm only doing this just to really, so I've taken the cyan channel and you can see what's happening in the background there because I think the blues have been pushed. So I'm going to take it and lighten the cyan, but you got to be careful because see it's going the other way. So this is
Yeah.
probably going to have to go back to the original image to play with the colors because if I lighten the blues and the cyans, I get it just kind of opposite either way. So it's definitely something that could be. And if you were to competition, a judge is going to see it. You make a larger print to hang on the wall, hang it and sell it to a restaurant, sell it to something like that. It's going to be a lot more obvious. So that's definitely something that you want to color or black and white. I just went to black and white to make it easier to stand out there. So
Yeah.
yeah, just some things to think about in um, in this image, but that's cool. That's good stuff.
Yeah. I like it cropped too. I think it was a little more pop to it.
Back to here. And darker and the cropping, I think, makes and the colors are a little richer, so they stand out from each other a little bit more.
Mhm.
Colors are richer, more rich. What's right there, Rick? You're the English major.
Yeah.
Wait, they're more better. We'll just go with that one. That's why I say more better, because it works. It's
Better.
obviously wrong, so it works. All right, guys, let's see. We got just a couple more here. We're doing real well on time. And is there any other comments we're missing in the box there? All right, so we have one called, let's see, canine potty training.
Canine body training.
Is this not talk of the not to say anything mean, but talk of the younger generation these days from what we know.
Yeah.
On the
I
phone,
on the
walking.
phone. The dog's got to go, and then the fire hydrant over there for
I
the
know.
dog.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Love this angle of this planter box coming into the scene. It really brings us into the subject matter nicely. The verticals of the window on the left and the column there, just and even the green, probably the stoplight post. Stop us. They keep us over in that right part of the scene. I maybe would tone this bottom right corner down just like a
Yeah.
gradient, and you can just tone it down ever so slightly, maybe bring it more into this density right here, darkness.
Yeah.
But even these long shadows just really play this one up nicely.
Yeah. Tone that down.
I'm looking at we're trying to figure out why did he raise his foot, the man?
I
Excuse
think
me.
I
Did he
think he's
step
trying
in
to
it?
get I
He's
think
got the leash in his hand.
yeah, and
Right,
he's tangled or trying to put his foot over the leash. It
right.
looked.
But it kind of gives me an idea, did he step in it or is he about to step in it or this is cool. And that's what's so fun about the photojournalism, reportage, whatever you want to call it, is the stories that each person takes out of it from their own experiences, but just
Yeah.
one minor little thing, and it's not that big a deal. I think you could probably do this if it was to go to reportage category. This bright spot over here, it's just a reflection. I think you can take that out, can you not?
You can dodge and burn. You can't remove anything.
So you could just tone it down then so it wouldn't be
Yeah,
it's
tone it
not that
down.
big of a deal, but it's the brightest part of this area here, so maybe toning that down with burning it in to play it down, but what
Yeah.
a cool story.
Yeah.
Oops, let me get
You're
rid of
missing part of the joke.
what's that? I didn't
Hang
hear.
on. It's the guy that's got his leg up. You know how the dog raises his leg?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Good point.
You
Good
not hear
point.
me?
Well, I see that now. And if you read the title again, canine potty training, not adult potty training.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Too funny.
He's showing the dog. Lift your leg like
That's part of
this.
what he's doing.
yeah,
He's got the pet expert on the phone, and the guy's telling
Yeah.
him, show him how to do it. So that's what he did.
Raise your leg. Show him how
That's too
high.
funny, Cliff.
Yeah.
I love that.
yeah, that was it.
That was cool. Yes, that was our last one.
All right.
You did
There was some cool
well.
stuff. Cool stuff.
Anything you want me to, Jessica, anything you want me to bring back and talk more about or see again or not or
Well, I would say I have my two favorites. Can I tell what my two
oh,
favorites?
oh, we'd love to. Yeah. Yeah.
The pastel flower, the little with the art. I love that, and that black and white of the village. Oh my gosh, those are probably my two favorites.
Okay. Just pop those back up to show everybody. Yeah, that one is just stunning.
Amazing.
And
In
then
the
this,
good old scoring days, this I think I could have put 100 on
I,
that.
I was just gonna say, yeah. And it's that little game you play is that, well, oh yeah, definitely 90s. Oh yeah, this is upper 90s. Well, why not just go to 100, you know? And then for a long time they had that rule. I don't even know if that's still, well, we're not doing scoring, so it doesn't matter. Where if you scored it, it had to move a category to challenge it.
Right.
So if
You
you
couldn't
you
challenge
didn't
it
want
if
to,
you were in that exceptional
yeah.
category.
But then
Challenge
nobody would score in that exceptional category because then they couldn't challenge it to go to 100 because, well, it's the next category technically, you know how they
Well,
are.
you know, what I found interesting today was Ohio has that it's a separate category, 100 for their way
Well,
of.
isn't that how it ended up, the last PPA stuff? Because I remember,
Oh, no, they talked about doing that, but they never did.
because
Yeah.
I was on the whatever they called it then, the print committee, where
PEC.
yeah, where we put the panels together. Um, and that was some of the conversation is that this should be its own category. And but there was too many old timers that were like, well, that's changing things too much. I'm like, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The other one that you liked is Pretty
This
Little
would be one.
Flower.
This would be one or two, and this would be way up there too. I think this is just lovely. I love this. Those are the ones that just burnt in my mind tonight. I was just like, oh, love that.
Well, so one of the things since we've been doing this is our 28th show, I think. We've always talked about should we pick a favorite? Again, we're not scoring it. We're not trying to do that route, but we've talked about maybe we should just have, like you've just done, let our guest pick their favorite or two or three. Um, if anybody in the audience has any feedback for the future for that, we didn't want to make it a contest. We didn't want to make it that, but and that's why I don't think Rick and I should be necessarily.
Just come and what was the word I was going to say?
You're going to
Instead
call
of
it judge's favorite or something like that.
impression and the most that made the most impression on you.
There you
Maybe
go.
something like that. So these two
Yeah.
made the most impression on me tonight.
And they'll get a warm handshake and a firm pat on the back, or no, a firm handshake and a warm pat. One of the two. Well, very cool. Congratulations to everybody against them. That's what's been so cool is that I will say that we've had several people, and I'll just stop the share here and come back to the same world you guys are in. Over the last couple of years, I mean, not to pat ourselves on the back, but I'm going to for me. I'll pat Rick on the back and he can pat me on the back. We've had a lot of our Colorado members do well, get their master's degree. Some of them keep coming back to show, which is, I know, well, I'm sure Jessica, you'll agree with, that you get that. Matter of fact, I can say for myself, I look back now at where I was at when I got my master's on 25 merits. That was 25 print merits. That was my dad's goal for me was don't, I had some other ones, but I wanted to do it all print merits. So that was my goal. He says, but now in the future, you'll look back on it. Now I look back at my case of 25. I don't want anybody to see those pictures. They're so bad. I don't even know how they got into this upper 70s, let alone merits. But so we always try to encourage people that you go out and you get your degrees. That's great. Don't quit. That's just you're up the first step on the ladder. There's so much more you can keep doing and practicing and learning. And that's why we're trying to do this, is to give you guys the opportunity to keep challenging yourselves. That's kind of why we didn't do any prizes but I think it's good that, it's still encouraging to have our guests at least say, hey, here's our favorites here. So that's cool. Glad you guys can make it. Again, as usual, we'll put this recording up on our site. Thank you for being our regulars and coming back and sitting through the whole show. And we never give Cliff any chance to say much, but thank you, Cliffy, for being our backbone to this whole endeavor.
Oh, for sure,
Our
man.
fun.
Well, thanks for having me. I hope I did okay.
Jessica, it's been such a
You're great.
pleasure having you with us, and your comments, your demeanor, your personality, we've so appreciated over the years, and you were just something really special tonight for us and for our members. I've really learned a lot from your comments, and I make this comment as often as I possibly can. Whatever we impart, I think, from my point of view, I learned much more than I ever impart. And this is as much an educational experience for me
Absolutely.
as it is, I would hope, for anyone else that's on the show. So thank you so much for your time. It's after 10 o'clock there in Kentucky, and
Thank you for that.
we just so appreciate, so many
Yeah,
other things.
I took that nap today, so I'd be good.
There you go.
And
So many other things you could have been doing, but you chose to spend your time with us, and we truly appreciate it.
I was inspired. Beautiful work. It's great what you guys are doing.
after we pay Cliff for his, we'll send you a check for tonight. Don't look for it in the mail. Cliff's still waiting for his check too.
And you're not going to dock Cliff for him taking time to eat his supper, are you?
Oh no. He's
You
no.
can't send me a check. Send me a Lithuanian.
That's pretty good. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you.
Well, we'll send everybody checks. Just don't cash them.
You guys have cracked me up all night.
Well,
Ted,
thank you
so good to have you with us.
Ted, that's kind of why we do this mostly, so Rick and I can stay in contact since we're now 3 hours apart in real life, but we can just sit and laugh at each other. So that's really the point of this whole thing. So we're glad you've joined the firing squad here.
I have to thank all of you for all of the great feedback for everybody. I've been working and doing other stuff, but listening to everything that's said tonight, and then Rick, I listened to Ohio today just to sit and learn from that panel was incredible. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you, Thea. I appreciate that.
That's nice. Thanks, Thea. We appreciate you too, what you're doing for the ASP, helping them out with all the.
That's a great job.
Yeah, that's a big job.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
That's good. That's good. Just know that until all of a sudden one day it's not, then it's like, okay, I'm done. I did it. And that's okay too. You don't have to do it for the rest of your life, but
Right. No, I'm already treating somebody to take over. So
Go.
Yes. No, thank you all for the great feedback. It's always good to
Good.
learn
Good.
from you all.
Jessica, thanks again. It's good to see you smile. We appreciate that. And all your good feedback is wonderful.
Love you guys.
Thank you for watching the Image Critique Show with Jeff Johnson and Rick Avalos. Learn more by checking them out at theimagecritiqueshow.com.